Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're exploring Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass Every Day.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
It is. And we're going to really dig into her advice for, staying motivated, keeping that vibe high, and on track with your personal growth.
Yeah, I think what's great about Sincero is that she takes these sometimes huge, overwhelming self-help concepts and breaks them down
Right.
into really easy bite-sized
Yeah,
pieces.
exactly. It's not just like think positive. She really gives you the tools
Mm,
to actually rewire your brain for success.
yeah.
And one of the tools that I found so interesting is this idea of a spiritual gym.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's so smart. Just like we commit to a regular workout for our bodies, she's saying that we need a dedicated practice, right?
Yes.
For flexing our mental and spiritual muscles too.
Absolutely. So what does that look like? The spiritual gym routine? She mentions a lot of different practices in the book.
She does, yeah. Everything from, studying self-help books, listening to inspiring podcasts.
Oh, like this one.
Maybe like this one.
Hopefully.
To meditation, journaling, practicing gratitude. She even talks about visualization and using affirmations to reprogram your mind.
It's a lot. It can feel overwhelming.
Right, and I think that's why she really emphasizes finding what works for you, like
Right.
experiment and see what resonates, and then just be consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key.
It is. It's about making those practices a part of your day, just like brushing your teeth.
I love that analogy. It's so true.
You don't even think about it.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah.
So it's not about, reaching spiritual enlightenment overnight or anything.
Sure.
It's about really having that sustainable practice
Exactly.
that will help you grow over time.
Yeah, and speaking of creating, she has this interesting view of creativity.
Okay.
She believes that we're all inherently creative
Okay.
and that your life is your masterpiece.
I love that. So what does she mean by that? Life is a masterpiece.
She's basically saying that every thought, every word, every action is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. You're the artist, and you have the power to shape your reality through the choices that you make and the actions that you take.
That is powerful. It's making me think about all those times I felt stuck
Yeah.
or like I wasn't in control of my life.
And that's exactly what she wants to empower you to do, is to recognize that you have that agency,
Yes.
to create that life that you want.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think holds so many of us back is confidence.
Absolutely.
So how does she address that?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. She argues that confidence and self-esteem, they aren't things that we need to earn. They're
Okay.
qualities that are already within us.
Okay, but how can that be true when so many of us struggle with self-doubt,
Right.
with insecurity?
She believes that those negative beliefs about ourselves are learned over time.
Oh.
They're not inherent truth.
Interesting.
We're all born with this incredible sense of self-acceptance.
That's true. Think about babies.
Yeah, exactly. They don't judge themselves.
They just are.
They just are.
So how do we lose that? Where does that go?
Well, she talks about how those limiting beliefs are instilled in us, by our families, our culture,
Right.
even our own inner critic.
Yes.
But she also believes that we have the power to unlearn them and reclaim our natural confidence.
So it's really about recognizing that those doubts and fears aren't really the truth.
Yes.
It's just a story that we're telling ourselves.
Exactly. And once you start to challenge those stories, you can start to rewrite them.
Yes. With a more empowering narrative.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so we're starting to embrace this idea that we are these inherently confident, creative beings. What's the next step?
Well, she's all about taking action.
Okay.
She doesn't want you to just sit around thinking positive thoughts.
Right.
She wants you to go out and make things happen.
That's the badass part.
That's the badass part. She wants you to be bold, take risks, step outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
Pursue those dreams that set your soul on fire.
But what about those excuses that always seem to pop up?
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough.
Oh, she has a great term for those. She calls them fake news.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. They're fabricated stories that we tell ourselves to justify our inaction.
So how do we, combat those excuses and start taking action?
I think she has sort of a two-pronged approach.
Sure.
First, she wants us to become aware of those excuses.
Okay.
What are those stories that we're telling ourselves? And then once we can identify them, we can start to challenge them.
Yeah, I love that. And that leads to her second point, which is the power of repetition.
Exactly.
She really emphasizes that repetition is reality.
Yes, whatever we focus on repeatedly, whether it's positive or negative, is going to shape our perception of the world.
What you focus on expands.
Exactly.
So if we want to create that positive, empowering reality,
Yes.
We need to be feeding our minds with those positive, empowering inputs.
Exactly.
So instead of dwelling on those excuses, we can choose to focus on affirmations, visualize our goals, surround ourselves with positive people.
Exactly. It's about being really conscious about the information and energy that you're allowing into your life.
Now, she also shares this beautiful story in the book about a woman with two clay pots, one that's perfect and the other that's cracked.
Oh, yes.
What do you think about that story?
I think it really illustrates how our perceived flaws can actually be our greatest strengths.
Okay.
The cracked pot, it seems imperfect, but it ends up creating this stunning pathway of flowers because of the water that drips from it.
Right. I just thought that was such a beautiful metaphor for how those unique quirks, those imperfections, can actually make us
Yes.
more beautiful, more resilient.
Yeah, and more capable of creating something really special.
Okay, so it's not always easy to stay positive and
Yeah.
focused, especially like when the world is throwing so much negativity at us.
Right.
So what does she say about kind of navigating those challenging times?
She acknowledges the importance of staying informed, but she cautions against excessive exposure to negative news.
Right, finding that balance.
It's about finding that balance between awareness and maintaining a positive outlook.
So how do you do that?
Pay attention to your own personal tipping point, you know?
Yeah.
That point where awareness transitions into overwhelm and hopelessness.
Know your limits.
Know your limits.
Set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Protect your mental health.
Yeah, and she also really emphasizes those simple practices like deep breathing.
Yeah, she has that smelling the rose breathing technique.
Oh, I love that.
I know, it's so good. To slow down, connect with your body, bring yourself back to the present moment.
Yeah, get centered.
Exactly. And I love how she talks about those tiny steps,
Yes.
towards achieving those big goals and really stressing the power of consistency in action, even when those actions seem small.
Absolutely. It ties back into that repetition is reality.
It does.
Each tiny step, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture.
It's like building a mosaic. Each individual tile might seem insignificant. But when they're all put together,
It creates a beautiful picture.
they create something beautiful.
Yes.
And it's not just about doing the right.
Right.
She also encourages us to feel good
Yes.
while we're doing it
Yeah.
and to prioritize those activities that bring us joy.
Yes. She even suggests that we experiment with making decisions based on feeling rather than logic.
Ooh, I love that because I think a lot of times I get so caught up in my head being logical that I forget to listen to my heart.
Yeah, I think that's something we can all relate to. And what she's suggesting is that our intuition, that gut feeling,
Yes.
that inner knowing, can be a much more powerful guide than our rational mind.
So it's about finding that balance, logic and intuition, thinking and feeling.
Absolutely. And speaking of balance, how do we navigate those cravings and distractions?
Ooh, that can derail us so easily.
Oh, they can be the real test.
Yes.
But she reminds us that those cravings, those distractions, anxieties, fears, they're often fleeting.
Okay.
They only gain power when we give them our attention.
So it's about recognizing those impulses as just those passing thoughts or sensations.
exactly.
And choosing to not engage.
Right. And she suggests, focus on that long-term satisfaction of achieving your goal
Yeah.
rather than the short-term pleasure of giving into that temptation.
Do you have any tips for how to put that into practice?
She suggests a really simple but powerful visualization technique.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're craving a cigarette, visualize your lungs, healthy lungs, thanking you for resisting.
Oh, wow.
Or if you're tempted to scroll social media instead of working on a project, visualize the feeling of accomplishment that you'll have when you finish that project.
That's a good one because I struggle with that
I think we all do.
all the time. Oh my gosh.
But it's about training your mind
Yes.
to focus on the bigger picture.
I love that. And she also talks about having a support system,
Yes.
like a mentor, a coach, or even just a friend that can hold you accountable.
Absolutely. We're so much more likely to stay motivated
Yeah.
and committed when we know someone else is in our corner.
Totally. And sometimes we need that push,
Yeah,
when we're feeling discouraged.
you do.
So how do we hold ourselves accountable for those negative beliefs and complaints that we have?
Mm,
Because even when we have the right people around us, sometimes it's our own inner critic
right.
that's holding us back.
She suggests this really great reframing exercise. She says, take those negative beliefs and complaints and turn them inside out.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, transform them into positive affirmations.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, instead of saying, I can't afford it, try saying, money flows to me easily and abundantly. Or instead of, I'm not good enough, try, I am worthy and capable of achieving anything I set my mind to.
That is so powerful.
Right.
To really shift that language and shift your thoughts.
Yeah, align them with the reality that you want to create.
I'm so inspired.
Yud.
I'm ready to rewrite my story and create a more badass reality.
Awesome.
But I know that personal transformation isn't always easy.
No, it's not.
And there's going to be discomfort along the way.
Yeah.
So what does she say about navigating those challenging moments?
She actually wants us to befriend discomfort and see it as a sign of growth, because when we step outside of our comfort zone, we're essentially expanding our capacity for experience.
So it's not about avoiding the discomfort. It's about reframing it.
Exactly.
Seeing it as that indicator of progress.
It's like when you're working out,
Yes.
you feel discomfort because your muscles are being challenged,
Yes.
and that means you're getting stronger.
Yeah.
So when we feel discomfort in our lives, it's often a sign that we're stretching and growing.
I love that. Now, what about those inevitable failures?
Yeah.
What does she say about failure?
Instead of viewing them as setbacks, she actually wants us to view them as starting points.
Okay.
She suggests analyzing our failures, extracting those valuable lessons, and using them as springboards for future success.
So it's about adopting that growth mindset
Yeah.
and seeing them as opportunities.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to kind of minimize those failures is to minimize distractions,
Yes.
especially when we're working on those important tasks that are going to move us forward.
I'm so guilty of that, especially with technology.
It's a constant battle
Yeah.
for our attention these days.
It is, but she offers some practical strategies for creating that distraction-free environment.
Okay.
You know, turning off notifications,
Yes.
setting boundaries with technology, even just having a dedicated workspace where you can focus.
Yes, create that space and structure.
Yeah.
And she also talks about taking immediate action,
Yes.
not putting those dreams and goals off any longer.
Right, because procrastination is often rooted in fear.
It is.
So she's saying stop waiting for the perfect moment and just start.
Just start, even if it's small.
Exactly.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
That's right. And the more consistently you take those steps, the more momentum you build.
Absolutely. Now, what about those aha moments?
No.
Those bursts of insight. How do we capture those and make them stick?
She emphasizes the importance of actually integrating them into our daily lives.
Okay.
So write them down, reflect on them, and then create a practice for incorporating that new awareness into your actions and thoughts.
So it's not enough to just have the insight.
No.
You have to do the work
You have to do the work.
to make it a part of your reality.
Exactly. And that requires consciously shifting your focus from the negative to the positive.
Energy flows where attention goes.
Exactly. So if you want to create a more positive, empowering reality for yourself, you got to be mindful about where you're directing your attention.
Absolutely. Choose to focus on those things that uplift you
Yes.
rather than those that bring you down.
Yeah. And that's where gratitude comes in.
Yes.
The more we can focus on what we're grateful for, the more we're going to attract those positive experiences into our lives.
It's training your mind to see the good,
Yes.
even in those seemingly bad situations.
Absolutely. And what about those fears and worries that can sometimes feel so overwhelming?
Oh, those are definitely a challenge for me.
She reminds us that they're often much larger in our minds than they are in reality.
Okay.
She encourages us to focus on the present moment and enjoy life instead of dwelling on those potential negative outcomes that might never even happen.
That's good, recognizing that most of our fears are just thoughts.
Yeah.
And thoughts don't have power unless we give it to them.
Exactly. And she suggests this really interesting technique, acting as if your dreams have already manifested.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So she believes that by aligning our energy with that desired outcome, we can actually open up pathways for its realization.
Interesting.
So it's about embodying the feelings and the actions of the person that you want to become.
So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, start acting like one.
Exactly. Dress the part, talk the talk, make decisions as if you're already running that business.
I love that. It's about shifting your energy and aligning it with those goals.
Yes.
And once you achieve those goals, she talks about the importance of appreciating them.
Yes.
And acknowledging how far you've come.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get caught up in striving for the next big thing that we forget to celebrate those wins along the way.
Yeah, we do. We forget to celebrate our wins.
We do. It's like we're constantly climbing a mountain,
Yeah.
always looking up at the summit,
Yes.
never taking the time to turn around and enjoy the view.
That is such a good analogy.
And I think it highlights the importance of pausing to reflect
Yes.
on that progress, to acknowledge those things that you've manifested it into reality.
Absolutely. And even in those everyday tasks,
Yes.
she encourages us to practice that presence, that mindfulness.
Yes. Whether it's washing dishes, listening to a friend,
Working out at the gym.
it's about bringing intention and focus to each moment.
Transforming those mundane activities into opportunities for growth and fulfillment.
Absolutely.
It's that chop wood, carry water mentality.
Exactly.
Finding meaning and purpose in everything that we do.
And she reminds us that we don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, that's important.
We can find a mastermind partner, a mentor, a coach, a friend.
It's about having that support system.
It is someone that's going to encourage you, hold you accountable.
Absolutely. It makes such a difference
It really does.
to have those people in our lives.
And speaking of those high vibe people,
Yes.
she also reminds us to recognize and distance ourselves from toxic relationships.
Ooh, yes. Very important.
Right, those relationships that are draining our energy
Absolutely.
and hindering our progress.
That's a good one. It's about having that supportive, empowering inner circle
Yes.
that helps us thrive.
Exactly.
Okay, I love how she talks about the power of those moments between waking and sleeping,
Oh,
you know, to connect with your intuition and your inner wisdom.
yeah, creating that space for stillness and reflection, tapping into that deeper sense of self.
So carving out those quiet moments
Yes.
to listen to your inner voice. I love that. And she also talks about embracing our authentic selves
Yes.
to honor the things that bring us joy.
Yes, those things that light us up, make us feel alive.
Yeah, it's about trusting your own instincts
Yeah,
and pursuing what feels right, regardless of what anyone else thinks.
exactly. And speaking of letting go of those external opinions, she shares this really poignant anecdote about her aunt,
Okay.
who has Alzheimer's. As her memory fades, she's also forgetting to worry about things.
Right.
There's a sense of peace and freedom that comes with that.
Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that letting go, even when it's not by choice,
Yeah,
can open up space for something new.
absolutely. And she encourages us to practice that kind of mindful forgetting in our own lives, to
Yeah.
consciously choose to release those worries about things we can't change
Right.
and focus our energy on those things that we can.
That reminds me of the serenity prayer.
Oh, yeah. Good connection.
The courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's perfect. And speaking of knowing the difference, she has this great acronym.
Yeah.
N now W equals never overwhelmed.
I like that. Tell me more about NLW.
So she explains that overwhelm often comes from focusing on everything at once, that mountain of tasks
Yeah.
and responsibilities that are looming.
It's like trying to eat an elephant in one bite.
Right, exactly. And she's like, just stay present.
Yeah.
Focus on one task at a time, savor each moment as it unfolds, and trust that you'll get to everything in due time.
Breaking it down into those smaller, manageable steps.
Yes.
Approaching each one with intention.
Exactly. And, she reminds us that we don't have to do it alone.
That's important.
We can find that mastermind partner,
Yeah.
a mentor, a coach, a friend.
With that support.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Someone that's in your corner cheering you on.
And sometimes we need that,
We do. Having someone to bounce ideas off of,
Yes.
share those challenges with, celebrate those victories, it can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. And speaking of celebrating victories, she also talks about acknowledging those accomplishments that once seemed impossible.
Yes.
Those goals that we've achieved that are now our new normal.
It's so easy to just get caught up in chasing that next big thing
Yeah,
that we forget to appreciate how far we've come.
absolutely. And she encourages us to practice presence and mindfulness in those everyday tasks.
Yes.
Whether you're washing dishes, listening to a friend, working out,
Yeah, bringing intention and focus to those moments.
transforming those mundane activities
Yes.
into opportunities for growth.
Exactly. Chop wood, carry water.
Yes, exactly. Find meaning and purpose in everything that we do.
And find those high vibe people.
Yes, surround yourself.
Yes, those people that are going to lift you up and believe in you.
And she also reminds us to pay attention to those things that make us feel good
Yes.
and let those good feelings guide our decisions.
That ties back into intuition,
It does.
trusting your gut and going for those things that light you up.
Absolutely. Not just being logical, but doing what feels right.
Yes, and stay hydrated.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's important.
It is,
Take care of your physical body.
Yes, because it plays a huge role in our mental and emotional well-being.
Yeah, it does.
And when you're trying to make these big changes in your life,
Yeah,
you need all the energy you can get.
that's true. And drinking water can boost your energy levels, your
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, she also talks about not taking things personally,
Oh, yeah.
especially when it comes to other people's reactions and actions.
Right. She reminds us that those reactions are often just a reflection of that person's own internal state,
Yeah.
their own struggles, their own insecurities.
It has nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us.
It's about recognizing that.
It's about them.
Yeah.
And that can be a powerful tool for releasing resentment.
Right. And cultivating compassion.
Exactly, because we're all on our own journeys.
We are.
And everyone's doing the best they can with what they've got.
That's true. And she also talks about finding things to be in awe of,
Oh, yeah.
to really cultivate that sense of wonder
Yes.
for the world around us.
Shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right.
Yes, appreciating the beauty in the everyday.
Yes, those little moments of joy and gratitude.
It's about remembering that even in the chaos and the uncertainty, there's always something to be grateful for.
Always something to marvel at. And she also encourages us to embrace the things that scare us.
Okay.
You know, step outside of that comfort zone, challenge those limitations.
Because when we confront our fears, we discover our strength
Exactly.
and our resilience.
It's like proving to yourself that you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for.
Absolutely, recognizing that our comfort zone is often a prison
Yeah,
disguised as a safe space.
that's a good way to put it. And speaking of powerful, she also reminds us to be mindful of the phrases that we use.
Okay.
You know, to eliminate those low vibe words that reinforce a sense of lack and to replace them with high vibe alternatives that empower us.
So instead of saying, I hope I get that promotion,
Yes.
try saying, I am worthy and capable of that promotion.
Right.
And I'm excited to receive it.
It's about speaking your reality into existence.
I love that. And she also talks about finding freedom and forgetting
Oh, yes.
to let go of those worries and anxieties.
She tells that really poignant story about her aunt with Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And how that's actually been a really beautiful thing in some ways.
Right, because it's freed her from so much fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
It is a powerful reminder that sometimes letting go can be a blessing.
It can. It can. And, you know, speaking of creating space,
Yes.
she has that acronym, N now W equals never overwhelmed.
That's right. And she reminds us that overwhelm often stems from focusing on everything at once.
Yeah.
Trying to eat that whole elephant.
Exactly. So stay present. Stay present. Focus on one task at a time, you know, and trust that it'll all get done.
Break it down.
Yeah.
Manageable steps.
And set those intentions.
Yes, intentions are so important.
They are. They're like little roadmaps for our energy
They are.
to help us stay focused and make conscious choices.
Absolutely. And she reminds us that gossiping and complaining, while tempting,
Ah, so tempting.
they're low-vibe activities.
They drain our energy,
Yeah.
keep us stuck in negativity.
It's like junk food for the soul.
It is. So find that compassion for those who are acting out.
Yeah.
Remember, we don't know what other people are going through.
We don't know what battles they're fighting.
That's right. And if all else fails
Yeah.
and you're still struggling with that irritation,
Yeah.
just picture that person wearing a pancake as a hat.
I love that. Sometimes you just need a little humor.
You do, to shift your perspective.
And she also reminds us to take breaks.
Oh, yeah, so important.
Stretch our bodies, connect with loved ones.
Those acts of self-care
Yeah.
can do wonders for our mood and our energy.
Yes, stay balanced and grounded.
And express love.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know, whether it's through words, actions, Yeah. or even just a phone call.
Let someone know you're thinking of them.
Exactly, because those expressions of love not only brighten the day of those we care about,
Yeah.
they fill our own hearts with joy.
They do. And she reminds us that we are these magical creatures.
Yes, we are.
Living in a magical universe.
We are.
And we have the power
Yes.
to manifest our desires.
Through our thoughts,
Yes.
our beliefs, and our actions.
That's right. Embracing that limitless potential.
Yes. Trust in the universe.
Yes.
To support your dreams.
I love, she also encourages us to connect with our fellow humans.
Yes.
To make eye contact.
Yes.
Smile at people. Strike up conversations with strangers.
Yes. Foster that connection, you know,
Yes.
that sense of community.
We're all in this together.
We are, and celebrate those accomplishments, you know,
Right.
those things that you never thought were possible,
Right.
but now are a part of your reality.
It's so easy to get caught up, like we said before, in that next big thing.
Yeah.
But we got to pause
We do.
and reflect
Yes.
and
Pretty
appreciate
far we've come.
how far we've come. And even in those everyday tasks, bring that presence and mindfulness
Yeah.
to each moment.
That's right. Chop wood, carry water.
Find meaning and purpose.
Exactly. And find your people.
Yes.
Find that mastermind, that mentor, that coach.
Yes, have that support system.
That's going to help you stay on track.
And speaking of support, she also reminds us that we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No, we don't.
We can find a mentor.
Yes.
Seek out those who have already achieved
Yes.
what we desire.
Stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes, and learn from their wisdom.
Absolutely. And pay attention to your sense of smell.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know?
Yeah.
Really savor those scents that evoke positive emotions.
Yeah.
Or memories.
It's bringing mindfulness to our senses.
Yes.
And appreciating that beauty
Yes.
of the olfactory world.
Whether it's the smell of fresh baked bread, the rain on pavement, those essential oils.
Ground yourself in the present moment.
Exactly.
And connect with those simple pleasures.
And be patient.
Yes.
You know, she tells this funny story about her own struggles with patience while driving through her historic town.
Right, filled with elderly drivers and lost tourists.
Exactly. And I think it highlights the importance of self-awareness.
It does.
And the power of interrupting those negative thought patterns.
Yeah, and instead of giving into that road rage,
Yeah.
she chooses to shift her focus and appreciate the beauty of the flowers in the median.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we have a choice
We do.
in how we respond
Always.
to those challenging situations.
And sometimes the best way to release that frustration and stress is to just scream.
Yes.
I love that.
She's like, find a private space, set a timer for 3 minutes, and let it out.
That sounds so liberating.
It can be, a good primal scream can be cathartic.
Right. Sometimes you just got to let it out.
You do, and, she reminds us that we have everything we need
Yeah.
within ourselves
Yeah.
to make manifest whatever we desire.
That's right. Recognize our own inherent power
That's right.
and trust in those universal forces.
That's right, that are supporting our growth and evolution.
And shift from that mindset of getting to giving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Approaching life with that attitude of abundance and generosity.
Yeah. Not scarcity and lack.
Exactly. Focus on what you can contribute
Yeah.
rather than what you can get.
She has so many great anecdotes.
She does.
But the one that always stands out to me is when she was living in Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
And she would go shopping in the garbage with her friend.
Ah, I love that story.
What do you think about that?
It's such a good example of how abundance can show up
Yes.
in the most unexpected places.
It can.
Especially when we're open to possibility.
That's right. And they would find everything, working Walkmans, beautiful robes, just by being willing to look beyond the surface and see that potential.
What other people had discarded.
And it's,
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
that's right.
Right.
It's all about perspective.
It is.
And she really emphasizes celebrating those everyday victories,
Yes.
acknowledging those small wins
Yes.
that contribute to our success and well-being.
Yes. Start each day with that attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
And celebrate those accomplishments no matter how small.
And she talks about the moment of truth
Yes.
as that point where we decide whether we're going to stay committed
Right.
or give in to temptation.
Yes. That moment when your willpower is truly tested.
That's a tough one. Those are tough.
They are. But she says, have some strategies in place for those moments.
Okay.
Maybe it's an encouraging note in your wallet or a picture that inspires you.
I love that, like a visual reminder of your
Yeah.
goals.
Exactly. Or packed with an accountability partner
That's a good one.
to help you stay strong.
Yeah, because we need that.
We do.
We need those tools.
And align your decisions
Yes.
with your goals.
That's right. Evaluate those choices. Make sure you're moving in the right direction.
That's right. Making those conscious decisions that are supporting your overall vision.
And she reminds us to ask for what we need,
Oh, yes.
whether it's support from friends, guidance from our intuition,
Even just a bigger pickle at the deli.
Why not?
Right.
Ask for what you need and recognize that we deserve to have our needs met.
We do.
And asking for help is not a weakness.
It's a sign of strength.
Yes, it is. And she challenges us to find those overlooked joys
Yes.
in our surroundings.
Yeah, those little things that bring us pleasure
Yeah.
that we often take for granted.
Expand your awareness
Yeah.
and appreciate the abundance that already exists.
Yes. Take a moment to notice the beauty in the ordinary.
Yeah, the warmth of the sun, the taste of your favorite food,
Absolutely.
the sound of laughter.
Cultivating that attitude of gratitude
Yes.
and recognizing all those blessings around us.
And she says our attitude steers the wheel.
That's right.
That determines the course of our lives.
It's a powerful reminder that we have the power to choose our thoughts
Yes.
and beliefs, and ultimately those choices shape our reality.
So if we want to create that badass life,
Yes.
we got to cultivate that badass attitude.
And speaking of attitudes,
Yes.
she reminds us to be mindful of our language.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Certain phrases can actually lower our vibration and reinforce that sense of lack.
Yeah, like I want or I should.
Exactly.
So replace those with high vibe alternatives.
Yes.
I choose, I enjoy, I create.
Exactly. Speak your desired reality into existence.
I love that. And she reminds us to embrace the absurdity
Oh, yes.
and the magnificence of life.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Find the humor.
Have fun.
Have fun. Yeah. And treat yourself.
Oh, yeah. Self-care.
Yes, self-care is so important.
Whether it's a luxurious bath, a delicious meal, a small gift,
Yeah.
honor yourself.
Celebrate yourself.
Celebrate yourself. And, she stresses the importance of the thoughts that we think.
Right.
Regardless of how things appear
Yeah.
in the physical world,
Okay.
it's about aligning your thoughts with your desired reality.
Yeah.
Even when those thoughts seem to contradict your current circumstances.
Yeah. So if we want to manifest abundance, we have to think abundant thoughts.
That's right. Even if your bank account is saying something different.
That's right. It's about trusting that our thoughts create our reality.
Yes. And she also talks about letting go of the need to know exactly what you're doing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Embrace the uncertainty.
Yeah.
And trust that the answers will be revealed.
As you go.
As you go, take that leap of faith,
Yeah.
even when you don't have all the pieces in place.
That's a good one. I like that.
And let go of the past.
Oh, yes.
Release those regrets, the shame,
The guilt.
because that can keep you stuck
Yeah,
in that cycle of negativity.
absolutely. The past is over.
It is.
We have the power to create a new future.
And stand up for yourself,
Ooh, yes.
even when it's uncomfortable.
Stand up for yourself.
Set those boundaries. Speak your truth.
Honor your needs, your values.
Recognize your worth.
Don't settle for less.
Don't settle, and create a sanctuary for yourself.
Ooh, I like that. A sanctuary.
Yeah, a space where you can retreat, find peace, reconnect with yourself.
Yeah, whether it's a physical space
Yeah.
or just a mental space.
Exactly, A quiet corner, a walk in nature, a guided meditation.
Yeah, we all need that.
We do, and remember, you're not alone.
That's important.
Find that mastermind partner.
Yes.
A mentor, a coach, someone you can be accountable to.
Yeah, leverage that power of collaboration.
Exactly.
And support.
Because two heads are better than one.
They are, and it makes a difference
It does.
to have those people.
And pay attention to those things that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Let those guide your decisions.
Listen to your intuition.
Listen to your gut. Choose those things that light you up.
Yeah, don't just be logical.
Yeah,
Do what feels right.
exactly. And stay hydrated.
Yes. Stay hydrated. That's important.
Yeah.
Our physical health
Our physical health is so important.
to our mental and emotional well-being.
It is.
And when we're making changes,
You need that energy.
yeah, we need all the energy we can get,
We do.
and water can help with that, boosting our energy, improving focus, our mood.
Absolutely. And don't take things personally.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Especially other people's actions and reactions.
Remember, those reactions are just a reflection of their own internal state.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you.
Recognize that.
It's about them.
Yeah.
And that will help you release the resentment
Yeah.
and cultivate compassion.
Because we're all on our own journeys,
We are.
doing the best we can.
And, find those things to be in awe of.
Yes.
Cultivate that sense of wonder and appreciation for the world.
Shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right.
That's right.
Appreciate that beauty in the everyday. And remember, even in the chaos, there's always something to be grateful for.
Always something to marvel at, and embrace those things that scare you.
Yeah, step outside of that comfort zone. Challenge those limitations.
Right, because by confronting those fears, we discover our strength,
Yes.
our resilience,
And we realize we're capable of so much more.
more than we thought.
More than we thought. And our comfort zone is often that prison
Yeah.
disguised as a safe space.
Be mindful of the language you use.
Ooh, yes. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eliminate those low vibe words.
Yes.
And replace them with those high vibe alternatives.
Speak your reality into existence.
Exactly.
And find freedom in forgetting.
Oh, yes.
Let go of those worries.
Remember the story of her aunt
Yes.
and how in some ways it's been a blessing
It has.
to forget those things that
Yeah.
were holding her back.
Because it's opened up space for something new.
And NW equals never overwhelmed.
That's right. Break it down.
Stay present. Focus on one task at a time.
One step at a time.
That's right.
Set those intentions.
Those intentions are so important.
They are.
They help us stay present and make conscious choices.
And she reminds us, no gossiping or complaining.
Oh, I know. It's so tempting.
It is so tempting. But it's like junk food.
It is.
For the soul. It drains our energy.
Find that compassion.
Yes.
For those who are acting out.
We don't know what other people are going through.
Oh, we don't?
We don't know their battles.
And if all else fails,
Yeah.
picture them with a pancake on their head.
I love that.
A little humor.
A little humor goes a long way.
It does.
And take breaks, stretch, connect with your loved ones.
Self-care.
Self-care is so important.
It is.
And express love.
Yes.
Whether it's through words, actions, a simple phone call.
That's right. It brightens everyone's day.
It does.
And it fills your heart with joy.
And she reminds us, we are these magical creatures.
We are.
Living in a magical universe.
We are.
We have the power to manifest our desires.
Through our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions.
Embrace your limitless potential. Trust in the universe.
That's right.
It's got your back.
It does.
Connect with your fellow humans, make eye contact, smile, strike up conversations.
We're all in this together.
We are.
And celebrate those accomplishments.
Yes.
Those things you never thought you could do.
It's so easy to get caught up in chasing that next thing.
We do.
But pause and reflect on how far you've come.
And even in those everyday tasks, bring that presence and mindfulness.
Yes. Chop wood, carry water.
Exactly. Find your people.
Find those people. Find your tribe.
Your tribe, your mastermind, your mentor.
Yes. Have that support system.
And you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right. Find a mentor. Seek out those who have already achieved.
Stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
And pay attention to your sense of smell.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Savor those scents.
Yes.
Evoke positive emotions.
It's about bringing mindfulness to all of our senses.
Yes.
And appreciating those simple pleasures.
And be patient.
Be patient. She tells that funny story about struggling with patience while driving.
In her historic town with all the elderly drivers.
It's so true. And, it's about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And interrupting those negative thought patterns.
And remember, we have a choice in how we respond to those challenges.
And sometimes you just got to scream.
Sometimes you do. A good primal scream can be so cathartic. And remember, you have everything you need.
We do.
Within yourself.
But create what you desire.
Trust those universal forces.
That's right. And shift from getting to giving.
Yes.
Approach life with abundance and generosity.
That's right. Approaching life with that attitude of abundance and generosity.
Rather than scarcity and lack.
Right. Focus on what you can contribute instead of what you can get.
I love that.
And, speak of generosity, she tells that great story about when she was living in Barcelona and she would go shopping in the garbage. Oh my gosh, yes, with her friend.
I know.
What a great story.
Such a good illustration of how, abundance can show up in the most unexpected places.
You can.
When we're open to the possibility.
Yes, and they would find, like you said, working Walkmans.
I know.
Beautiful robes.
It's amazing.
It's all about perspective.
It is. It is.
One person's trash
is another person's treasure.
That's right.
Exactly.
So we've talked about mindset, embracing discomfort, taking action. But what about those times when we just feel tempted to give up?
Oh, yeah.
Our willpower is tested and we're like, I don't know if I can do this.
She calls those moments the moment of truth.
Woo.
The moment of truth.
That point when you decide, am I going to stay committed?
Right.
Or am I going to give in?
Ooh, those are hard. What's your advice?
Well, she says have a few strategies in place.
Okay.
For those moments of weakness.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a note that you wrote to yourself, an encouraging note, a picture that inspires you.
Oh, I love that. Like a visual reminder of your goals.
Yeah, exactly. Or a pact with an accountability partner.
That's a good one.
To help keep you strong.
Because we all need that sometimes.
We do.
And, she also talks about aligning our decisions with our goals.
Yes.
Making sure that the choices we're making.
Yeah, they're moving us in the right direction.
Are moving us in the right direction. It's about being mindful.
Yes.
And she reminds us to ask for what we need.
Yes.
Whether it's support from friends, guidance from our intuition.
Even just a bigger pickle from the deli guy.
Ask for what you need.
Ask for what you need. You deserve it.
And asking for help is not a weakness.
It's not. It's a sign of strength.
Yes. And, She challenges us to find those overlooked joys in our
Yes.
surroundings.
Appreciate those little things
Yeah.
that bring us pleasure.
Expand our awareness.
Yes.
Appreciate the abundance that already exists.
Take a moment to notice the beauty in the ordinary.
Yes, the warmth of the sun, the taste of your favorite food.
Those little things.
It's about gratitude.
It is.
Recognizing those blessings.
All around us.
Yes.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive into you are a badass every day.
It is a good one.
This book is packed with so much wisdom.
It is.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go out and be more badass.
Me too.
So for our listeners out there, what resonated most with you from our conversation? What actions are you going to take?
Yeah, think about it.
If your life were a work of art, what kind of masterpiece would you be creating right now? How can you use those tools and insights from you are a badass every day, really make your art magnificent?
Yeah, because you have everything you need within you
We do.
to create that masterpiece.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
And remember, you are a badass every damn day.
Yeah.